Hello, SGI Canada members and educators of the earth. This is Kazuguchi reporting to you from Osaka, Japan at Kansai Soka High School. I've attended the Caledon Educators Conference for about 3 times, so for those who I've met before, hello! And for those who I haven't, it's very nice to meet you digitally. 2 years ago, I had the fortunate opportunity to find my dream job at Kansai Soka High School. How I came to work here is an incredible experience and a great benefit from the Gohonzon itself. So I hope I can share this with you at the next Caledon conference in person. So today I wanted to share with you what I am learning here at Kansai Soka High School and what it is like to be a Soka school teacher. Before I go any further, let me share with you a little bit about Soka schools in Japan. There are a total of 2 big campuses in Japan. One is located in central Tokyo, and the other one is here in Osaka, which is the southern region of Japan. Both campuses include an elementary school, a junior high school, and a senior high school. Kansai Soka High School opened several years later after Tokyo in 1973. So this year marks the 42nd class of Kansai Soka High School. Kansai Soka High School is a very large school. I teach grade 11 English, and each class is about 45 students, and we have 8 classes. Yes, you did hear me right. 45 students, 8 classes, for 1 grade. So this place where I am actually recording is one of the classrooms which I teach every week. I wish I could show you around the campus, but since I'm only recording on my own, I can't. But this video should do the trick. So please enjoy.
1973年の開校以来、関西創価学園から1万3000人を超える卒業生が世界へと羽ばたいています。その一人一人の心には、創立者池田先生の他人の不幸の上に自分の幸福を築くことはしないという言葉が深く刻み込まれています。この心情こそ平和教育の原点であり、関西創価中学校・高等学校にはモットーや校訓など創立者の提案によって学園生活を送る上での大切な規範が示されています。
Right, if I do 1 kick, that's just 1 kick.
First one, Michael works very hard.
創価学園は国際性を養うため、特に英語の授業に力を入れています。アメリカ創価大学大学院出身の8名の教師陣が語学の学びを強力にサポート。また英会話の授業を少人数で実施。外国人講師による本格的な語学力、対話力で生きた英会話を実践的に学びます。
Learning Cluster is a special program designed to cultivate future global leaders who have advanced English communication ability, independent critical thinking skills, and an abundant sense of creativity for solving various global issues. Our primary focus included studying issues in environment, development, human rights, and peace. This year, 15 selected students from the first to third grades were divided into 4 groups, and each group focused on one of the 4 topics throughout the year. As learning classroom members, we were privileged to meet influential figures in various fields, such as Mr. Tetsuo Kondo, Director of Japan branch of the UNDP, Mr. Toshio Yamaguchi, a former Japanese ambassador in Iraq and Norway, and many other guests from overseas. I strongly feel that I have deepened my perspectives toward current global situations. I have come to realize that everything I do and say has an effect on others. Therefore, I'm determined to continue developing myself as a global citizen who can lead others in creating the culture of peace around the world.
Hello again. So I hope you enjoyed the video and got a taste of what our school is actually like. So now I want to share with you a little bit about my experience working here. As I mentioned to you earlier, our school is fairly large with 45 students in each class. Our curriculum is not that much different from a private school in Japan. So you're probably wondering what makes our school unique as a Soka school. It's a very hard question because it's not something visible or concrete. I once asked Mr. Shiobara from the Soka Education Research Center what his thoughts on Soka education were. And he gave me a very interesting reply. He said that Soka education is like a breeze in the meadow. You can't see it, but it's actually there. And once you go back home and recall that moment in the meadow, you can remember how it felt like, how important that was, and appreciate it much more. So I think it's not about our curriculum, our teaching method, but the atmosphere or environment that is created within our interaction that makes us special. In other words, it is the teacher, the student, and most importantly, the founder and his principals that are the biggest difference that makes our school Soka. I think this is a very important point because when we talk about Soka education, there's a slight difference between what is being said in the East and the West in SGI. In the West, we often hear about Makiguchi Sensei's educational methods. Makiguchi Sensei's works are very attractive because it provides a concrete pedagogy, teaching methods, and curriculum. But in Japan, this is hardly referred to. And we study about Ikeda Sensei's guidance and principles on education. In a presentation I gave at SUA a few years ago, I mentioned that Soka education is incomplete completeness, that it cannot be a single formula which can be mass-produced. So in order to understand the Soka environment, the Soka atmosphere which I am talking to you about, we need to take a look at Ikeda Sensei's work. I have here President Ikeda's message that he gave to us, wonderful, wonderful message that he gave to us in our Caledon conference last year. And in it, he says, quote, "Genuine education begins when an all-out struggle for life-to-life interaction and communication takes place, and one person's character inspires another. I hope that each of you, as members of our educators group, more than anyone, will pray for the growth and happiness of your students. Strive to perfect your own character and grow as a human being." This week is a very important and historical week in Japan and for the rest of the world. August 6th, which would be August 7th for Canada, exactly the day of the Caledon Conference marks the 70th anniversary of the Hiroshima bombing in World War II. So this week, many people in Japan are thinking about peace. Needless to say, the origin of Soka education also dates back to this time. The book Value Creation Pedagogy was published in 1930 by Makiguchi sensei and Toda sensei. Ikeda sensei wrote that the essence and the core of this book lies in their message that education is for the happiness of the child. This may seem like a simple concept, but conditions like war, which used education to have children believe that war is for peace, have made this impossible at times. That may be an extreme condition, and perhaps some might be thinking it is irrelevant for our time. But subtly, economic competitions in the present still continues to distort our education for the child into education for society. The purpose of students' education should not be for societal merits or raising the school's reputation, but for individual happiness and greater peace. That is the eternal principle of Soka education that is never bothered by any conditions at any time. Our treasured school motto here at Kansai Soka is, "Your own happiness can never be built on the misfortune of others." This was a principle mentioned at the first entrance ceremony by our founder, Ikeda sensei. It is no exaggeration to say that every student here at Kansai Soka remembers this at heart. Students may forget what we teach them in English or math class, but this is something that they will never forget in their life. It's like the gosho where the jewel is hidden in the robe. The founder continues to sow these humanistic principles which will change the lives of these students in the future. Makiguchi's education for the happiness of the child and Ikeda's happiness not built on others' misfortune goes well together as a set to realize happiness for self and others. So, last week I had an opportunity to attend a seminar for all English teachers working in the Osaka region. So I had a chance to meet with teachers from different schools. One teacher shared with me that she worked for an NGO helping developing countries in Africa before working as a teacher. She told me that she often shares this experience with her students, but no one seems to be interested in working for developing countries in the future. She asked me if my students were the same, and I said no. They are extremely interested in helping developing countries, and many graduates actually do. She was surprised by my answer and asked me what makes them so motivated to help others. It was then when I realized that it was due to the humanistic principles which Ikeda sensei has sowed in them. Talking to her, I began to feel the breeze in the meadow much stronger. Fostering students who value their own life and works to help others is a self-education for creating peace, and the jewel which Makiguchi, Toda, and Ikeda treasured to eradicate war and suffering from the earth. I'm running a little bit out of time and I'm getting a little hungry, so I'm going to start stopping here. I would like to lastly thank Evadne, Glenn, and all of the members who made it possible for me to share this video message. It really means a lot to me that I'm still able to connect with you guys. Although our places may be different, at heart I am working every day as an SGI Canada educator. And the final thing I want to leave is that we don't necessarily need a Soka school for Soka education to happen. What we really need is ourselves and sensei at heart, and that can and is happening everywhere. And I hope it spreads stronger each day in Canada and the rest of the world. As we all work together as Soka educators, each day we are changing slowly but surely the course of history. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your conference.